Hey guys, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we'll look at what are nested lists. Nested lists are nothing but a list inside another list. List inside a list is called nested list. So let's take an example L1. So what we have learned till now is, or what we have seen examples of, that a list can have any element or any data type as an element of the list, right? So it can have an integer, it can have a float, it can have a string, it can have a boolean as well, it can have none as well, right? And a list itself can be an item or element of a list. For example, 1, 2, 3. So this is a list which is an element of another list L1. Okay. So we can have other elements as well. Let's say maybe 10, right? So how many elements are there in this list? 5, 1.52, Python 3, true 4, 5, 6, and 7. Right? If we check the length of this list, len of L1, what we'll have? We'll have 7. So let's run this nested list and we get 7. This is the length of the list, right? I'll comment it off. Now, this is what nested list is, right? If you print L1 of minus 2, what is L1 of minus 2? This is L1 of minus 1, the last element, and L1 of minus 2 is the second last element. So if print L1 of minus 2, you will get 1, 2, 3 as the output, which is the list itself, right? So this is the second last element of the list. Now, the question is, can we fetch the element of the internal list? Maybe if I call this as an internal list, can we fetch, let's say, 1 from here? Is it possible? The answer is yes. Yes or no? How can we fetch it? First, fetch the inner list, the list itself, the full element, right? Which is 1, 2, 3. How to do that? We just did that, right? L2 of minus 2, you can use positive, sorry, L1 of minus 2. You can use positive indexing as well. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can use L2 of 5, right? Or L2 of minus 2, which is negative index. And if you want to fetch 1, which is the first element of the inner list, we will chain it like this. We'll have the chain indexing. What is the index of 1? 0. So this is minus 2. And this is 0. Inner elements indexes 0, 1, and 2. Right? So first fetch the minus 2 element of the outer list L1, which will fetch us this entire list 1, 2, and 3. And then of that, if you want to fetch the first element, we'll do 0, which is this element number 1. Right? Let's run this. Shift F10. The output is 1, which is the first element of the inner list 1, 2, 3. Right? Let's take another example. Let's say we have L2 and we'll just remove this. And there is no restriction of creating a list inside a list inside a list. So for example, if I have a list inside a list, I have, let's say 1, 2. Then I have here as well, let's say 3, 4, right? And inside the list, I have, let's say 5, 6. And the third element of this of this inner list is another list, which is 0, 1. Now I have to understand how outer and inner lists are created here. So this is my full list L2. How many elements are there in L2? Print the len of N2. How many elements? Count it. 1, 2, 3 and 4? No. 1, 2 is one element. 3, 4 is another element. 5, 6, 1, sorry, 0, 1 is another element. This is third element. Full. Okay. Run this. There are 3 elements in this list. One is 1, 2, another is 3, 4, and another is 5, 6, 0, 1. This 0, 1 is the innermost list. Right? If 1, 2, 3, 4 are inner list, 5, 6, 0, 1 is, these are 3 inner lists. Inside this third inner list, we have another inner list, which is 0, 1. Now, if let's say you want to fetch this one, how will you fetch it? First of all, you have to fetch this element 5, 6, 0, 1, right? Which is the last element of this list L2. Yes or no? Right? And then fetch this list 0, 1, and then fetch 1. Right? Getting it right? So L2 of minus 1 will give us what? So if I do L2 of minus 1, let's run this. L2 of minus 1 will give the entire list, right? 5, 6 and 0, 1. Now we want to fetch this one. For that, we have to fetch this 0, 1, which is the last element of this list that is displayed, which is L2 of minus 1. So if I do a chain again minus 1, so what will happen? L2 of minus 1 is this. Of minus 1 will get 0, 1. Right? Let's run this. 0, 1. Now we got this 0, 1. Now we want this 1. Again, we can do minus 1 or 1 depending on positive or negative indexing. Again, we want the last element of this. So again, minus 1. Right? So when I run this, I'll get 1, which is this element. Right? So similarly, we can have n number of lists inside a list. There is no limitation of lists being there inside a list. Right? So if you want to fetch the elements, right, you want to index the innermost element, for example, you can do this chaining of indexes like this. Right? That's all for this lecture. We looked at nested list in this. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.